You know why? Because sometimes if a car does not interest a man, at least the woman would, and will draw his attention to it. Do you want to be that? Or do you want to be an individual woman who is independent away from this society? So my dear sister, you have to acknowledge and understand that your hijab is in fact an honor for you. My wife, once we entered into this place and she wanted to buy some nice clothing. And I'm talking about nice clothing, fashionable clothing. And the girl on the register, she looked at her and said, well, you know, I'm amazed that a lot of you hijab women come in here and you buy these nice trousers and pants and so on. But you never wear them. Well, I said to her, well, you know, I buy them so that I can look good for my husband, to attract my husband. And I cover my modesty and my chastity and my beauty away from the eyes of any man. I'm going to show my beauty to a man so they can go home and think about it. And excuse me for saying this, but I have to say it, and I've never said it before. It may sound rude, but it's true. Maybe this will convince our brothers and sisters. I will not let my beauty be shown to a man which will attract him to go home and masturbate while he's thinking about it. That's what the wicked men do. I am one who will show my beauty to my husband. My wife said, I want to show my beauty to my husband. You know what she said, this Western woman? She goes, God, that's mad. That's just amazing. You know, so you cover your modesty just so that your husband can really love you and see your... She goes, yeah. I said to her, this is why she's my queen. This is why we love each other more. And it will happen to you as well. And Allah knows this. And subhanAllah, how beautiful is that? Your husband decorates himself for you, you decorate yourself for him. You know, the husband looks at you, and I'll tell you how the husband thinks. He thinks, subhanAllah, I am touching a pure woman who only guards her modesty for my likes and for my desires. For me. Only for I'm her king. And then he begins to respect you and honor you. And you have a better relationship. Your children are raised better. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make your life better. Because a good relationship in a marriage life, Allah says in the Quran, إِن يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاء يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. If a married couple are poor, through their good marriage, as Allah has ordained it, Allah will make them rich. And I've seen I've witnessed this in my life many times, with a lot of people. And myself, I saw through this righteous marriage, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened many doors for me. I promise, wallahi, that when I was single, it was difficult for me to, save up. But when I got married in one whole year, I was able to save up a lot, alhamdulillah. Allah gives blessing in a righteous and good marriage. And one of the means of making a righteous marriage is to guard your modesty, sister, only for your husband. Think about it that way. It's a special thing. So khayr, inshaAllah. Maybe that will help, inshaAllah. And fear Allah, maybe that will also help. That a woman who doesn't wear her veil, amruha ila Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may punish her or forgive her. Only Allah knows this. But the Prophet ﷺ said, I saw when I descended in Isra wal Mi'raj to the heavens, I saw a group of women in hellfire, which I had never seen before. كاسيات عاريات مائلات مميلات رؤوسهن كأسنمة البخت المائلة لا يدخلن الجنة ولا يجدن ريحها. I saw in hellfire a group of women. They are clothed, but at the same time they are still naked. They walk مائلات مميلات, they walk from side to side in a seductive way. Let's say the catwalk or something like that. رؤوسهن, their heads and the fashion of their hair is made in such a way that it's like humps of camels, or in other words, it's made into a very fashionable way to attract the men. They will not enter paradise, nor will they smell its fragrance. The Prophet ﷺ said this. This means that when everyone enters paradise in the beginning, they will not enter in the beginning after a long time. Not even its fragrance. So, how do you want to be on the Day of Judgment, my dear sister? You can die tomorrow. You can die tomorrow. You can die in 10 years' time. You can gather wealth and be a servant to society and die on that. And the Prophet ﷺ said, we'll be gathered on that which you died upon. See the result of what happens to pious women, and see the result of women who degrade themselves by showing their ordainments. Compare it and you choose which one you want to be. Another question, will I be punished for going to university? It is a mixed environment. I do not sit with the opposite sex and I do not talk to them. am I still incurring sin upon myself? I like this question because I don't know if it's a male or a female, but it applies to both, you see. I personally do not see the university environment as being... I do not see personally going to university for a female or a male as being haram. And in fact, I encourage them to go if the conditions are met. And these conditions are not only for university, but for anything else. That if this free mixing which you are talking about, you are involved in that free mixing, in seclusion without need, then it would be haram for you to continue at university unless you stop that. If you can wear your veil and not let it interrupt your religion, and do your classes, go out, not needing to seclude yourself with men and talk foolishly with the men, and not need to go into a room with men. I'm talking about group projects, for example, like when you have to be with guys from the same class and sit together doing the I suggest that you choose a better course than that, and I advise the women that they can find a better alternative than me to do off-campus studies. And I believe there are a lot of them out there that suit you are much better, such as teaching off-campus or other certain courses which you can read about off-campus is really good. You can in fact do your exams in front of a JP, so you can feel more comfortable. You don't even have to go to school, to uni to do your exams. They send you all the books, your assignments, everything. You don't have to meet the teachers. And the environment of the school, if it gets to a stage where you find yourself, or if it is at a stage where you know that before going in there you're going to end up like that, where you have that fear, then, my dear sister, I say to you, find an alternative. Find an alternative. What's the use of having an educated sister that talks like the West, acts like the West, dresses like the West? What's the use of that? We have no need for that. We have no need for a woman or a man who is educated yet serves nothing for Islam, practices nothing of Islam, their iman drops down, and their mentality and attitude has changed. We have no need for them. They're good for themselves, not good for Allah, and not good for any other people. But if you can, inshaAllah, guard yourself from falling into this, my personal opinion, and I'm not saying that other sheikhs say this, is inshaAllah, go ahead. Otherwise, become a mother, and this is your alternative objective. And inshallah have some children, teach your children, educate your children. الأم مدرسة إذا أعددتها أعددت شعبا طيب الأعراق. The poet says, a woman is a school. You can prepare her, then she can prepare a wonderful, prosperous generation to come. Not the man, the woman, the mother. And if you have no need for university, sister, there is no need to go there. But get married and have children and educate them, and remember you have a great role. If you have some education, assist the Muslim women and avoid the haram. But another question, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. It says, I want to know what the conditions of ruling when someone wants to repent. This is a good question, because I only touched on that. The scholars with daleel from the Quran and the Sunnah, which I cannot go through, the daleels, then the conditions are 4 and 5. The first condition is for you to regret your sin. You feel bad about what you did. You don't feel bad because people know it. No, you feel bad because Allah knows it and because He forbid it. When you feel this regret, it doesn't stop there. It's not enough. If you regret something, you feel bad about something, it's not enough, brothers and sisters. A lot of people say to me, but I feel bad about it. It's not enough. The second step that you have to take is to sincerely ask Allah to forgive you alone, not in front of the people, and sincerely ask Him from your heart. This sincerity, the key word sincerity, is that you do not intend sincerely to commit that sin again. And if you do commit it again, then repent again. But you don't have the intention to do it. Thirdly, and you say to Allah, of course, and secondly, oh Allah, I promise that I will not do this sin again. I'm talking about major sins. Third condition, you exchange your bad sin with good deeds. Pray a bit more. Memorize a verse from the Quran. Donate from your wealth. Go to the mosque. Do good deeds. They will help wipe it off. The fourth condition do not return back to it intentionally. Do not return back to it intentionally. Like some people, they say, I'll ask Allah to forgive me, but really subconsciously you're thinking, yeah, but I'm going to do it again. And most likely I am. I'll just ask Allah to forgive me again. No, you can't think like that. You have to think, I inshallah will not do it again. But if I do it again, I will repent, but I do not intend to do so. That's sincerity. Now the fifth condition applies to those who have wronged someone else by backbiting them or slandering them, or have stolen from them, or are in debt. You must return the debt to a person if you have borrowed it from them, and you said, for example, I'm going to give it back after a month, and then 5 months pass, a year passes. Right? Then you have to return that to them, and give a good name to those who have been slandered, and ask them for forgiveness if you want, or if you can, otherwise say good things about it. I'll go through these last questions very quickly. It says here, I am currently talking to a sister, I intend on marrying her, but my father is not accepting. Is it haram for me to talk to her, especially if I have an intention to marry her? Brother, look, you're not allowed to talk to her without the permission of her guardian, of her wali. And her wali is mainly her father. If her father is not present, then her grandfather. Not a grandfather, her brothers, if they have reached over puberty. That's the first thing. Try to convince your father, if you have the intention to marry her, do the necessary means by going to her father. And you don't really need the permission of your father to marry her. However, she needs the permission of her father for you to marry her. However, you try to speak to your father in a nice way, in an obedient way, and take his advice, for he knows more than you. And if that advice is an Islamic advice, and you see that it is a good advice, then, inshallah, try to follow his way. But if you love this girl, and you really want her, and she wants you, inshallah, she's a righteous girl, go to her father and try to establish connection with her father, and show your father that you insist on her. That way, inshallah, your father wants the best for you. And but just about talking to her, talking to her in public is not haram. But when it's about marriage, you see, it can lead to haram. A lot of people have fallen into haram with them, because obviously you're talking to her because of marriage, which means that you love her, which means that you are attracted to her. And these are preliminary steps of getting into haram. When you want to talk to her, seek her guardianship. What are the steps of repentance? And we've mentioned that. When one passes away, does one have 3 days or 24 hours to bury the dead? No. The only thing we know is that the Prophet ﷺ explained to us that the person, when he passes away, you must bury them as soon as possible. As soon as possible. There's no 3 days or 24 hours and any such limits for times that Islam talks about. I have been having dreams that I have been unable to wake up something from, and sometimes they are